This is day one of me losing the weight, getting down to 180 pounds, or at least that's my goal. If I'm a little heavier than that or a little below that, my goal is to see some abs for the first time. So I want to see abs. I want to get in great shape. I don't have to be super built. I just want to get in overall good shape. Right now, I weigh just about 276 pounds, about a little over 276 pounds. A lot of the why and stuff of I'm filming this is, I mean, to get healthier. That's a big one. But I've got a family. I've got 2 little girls, and I just had a little boy. He's about 2 months old now, and I want to be able to run, jump, play, do football, sports, anything that they want to do, and just be able to participate in that with them, to the level where I'm not hindering anything, and I can really take part in the fullness of their lives and what we have going. That's a motivation for a lot of people, but that's also my motivation. I got on scale the other day, and I was just at 280 pounds. And I saw that, and I'm like, this is too much. I realized very quickly that I was well on my way to 300 pounds. And I don't know why that number is what it is for me, but that's the one that is just like, all right, this is a kick in the pants. I really got to get something going. I can't keep doing the same things. I've tried a lot of different weight loss stuff. I've tried to lose weight before. I actually have lost weight before. I went from about 270 to about 190. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But in this last journey of the last 5 to 6 years, I haven't been able to lose weight. I gained all the weight back after I lost it in the beginning, and now I'm trying to do it again. But this time I want to bring you guys along with me. I want to build something out of this as well, with you guys, and help anyone else that's doing the same thing as I am. And honestly, just get feedback from you guys and get people that have already done this before to give me their tips and tricks and stuff on what I'm actually doing to lose the weight. As I said before, I've already lost the weight once. I was about 270 pounds and started training, and this was junior year of high school, and I wanted to join the Marines, and I did join the Marines. I joined the Marine Reserves, and so I had to train and get down to about 200 pounds for that process. And they took me. I was a little on the heavier end even for what they wanted, but they still took me because I could accomplish all the runs and stuff, and I was like middle of the line across the board on like physical fitness level and what I could do. In boot camp and after boot camp, with all the training, Marine combat training, everything that went into that, I got down to about 190, and for a couple week stretch there I was seeing the 180s, but that didn't stay long. Even in boot camp, I got up to 190, or got down to about 190, and so I was feeling good. I was in pretty good shape. I still couldn't see abs or anything like that. I still had a little bit of a gut, and so never accomplished that. And to this day, I've never seen abs. I've never seen my own abs. So that is one of my goals, is to get to that point. But I joined the Marines, went through all the training, did well during the training. Wasn't like fantastic at anything, but just middle of the pack. I kept my head down. Drill instructors didn't know who I was, and that's how I like to keep it. I got done with that, got back to regular life, and that's when I slowly started to let things slip again. I gained a little bit of weight whenever I got back, and that added to a little bit more. And then a couple of years later, I got married, and that added even more weight. And then I got to about 240 pounds, and then I tore my ACL playing flag football. That is kind of the real kicker that really sent me. And after that, because I work in construction, I do a lot of hard things. I like to eat good food. After having to sit on your butt for a couple of months, not doing much, and without much discipline in what I was eating, I gained some weight. I got up to about 250, 260 pounds, probably closer to 260. And from there, like, I did a few weight loss journey things, and I would get down to like 235 is probably the best one I got down to. 240, and then it would always go back up even higher. It would jump right back up. And I went through one probably about 6 months to a year ago, and I got down to like 250 and then went way back up. And I even tried the GLP-1s, and that just made me sick. And whenever I'm sick, I eat, because eating brings me comfort. And so I actually gained weight on that, and I did not stay on that for very long, even though I was really hoping that would be an easy way out. It never is. So that didn't last very long. I gained more weight. That's whenever I hit about 280, and then I met this group of guys, and they were running, and I hate running. I hate running with a passion, but they kind of reset my views and stuff on running and how I could do that. And this has not been that long ago. And then I took a break from there. We had a kid, and so I stopped running, mainly because like they were running at 5 a.m. and I was awake at all hours of the night with a newborn, and I just didn't have the energy. And it was a whole time, but also during that thing, like any weight that I had lost starting the running, I gained right back. So now we're at this point. I started running with them again. I'm running on my own, and now I'm starting to lose some weight. And I just decided, I'm like, you know what? I've got to get some people on board. I've got to get these guys on board, have them hold me accountable. I've got to not just work out, but I've got to cut some calories. I've got to cut, and whenever I do something, I kind of go all out. So my calorie restrictions is pretty strict, but it honestly works better for me to be on the stricter side of things than to try and toe the line of what's the most like the optimal level of what the apps and stuff say you should be at. So I generally stick around 1,700 to 1,800 calories. I can see results coming in from that fairly quickly, and that's probably what keeps me on it. But whenever I lost weight the first time, calorie counting, like really slashing calories, is what did it for me. I cut a lot of calories. I was eating salad and chicken, and that was pretty much it. And I was able to lose that weight pretty quickly. And now I'm going to do something similar, but instead of just restricting myself to salad and just chicken, like I'm going to allow myself to eat kind of whatever I want, with a basis on like I know how to eat healthy and I can eat the healthier items, so I'm choosing the healthier items, but I want to stay in my calorie limit. So I'm doing intermittent fasting, and also just taking on mostly like dinners as my primary meal. So I skip breakfast. I drink black coffee for breakfast now. It's just an easy one for me. I go into work. Honestly, I don't even think about it. It's pretty easy to miss. Lunch, if I'm not eating big meals all the time, I can almost skip lunch or have a very light lunch. 200 to 500 calories, usually somewhere in that range. Usually my go-to is like Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. Fantastic option, really low calorie. You get the protein up. I still like to stay around 180 grams of protein, and I can do that pretty consistently. I'd like to do more, but at the moment I'm trying to slash a bit of this weight off to get my run up quite a bit more, and then I'll add even more protein, probably some more calories, and work on trying to build some muscle at that point. I've got quite a bit of muscle. Again, I do construction and I do heavy work all the time, so strength and muscle has never been a big deal for me. I don't lift weights, and the time that I do lift weights, my max bench is around 300. It's not the best. I could do a lot more than that, but for someone who doesn't train, working with all these people that do train all the time, I can bench more than them. I know that's not a great metric. I don't know much more about weightlifting than that, but I'm pretty strong. I can do quite a bit of that stuff. That being said, if you guys have tips and tricks on like lifting weights and have some simple plans of stuff I can do in my garage, I love lifting heavy weights, but I'm also scared to do that by myself. because just I don't want to risk an injury or anything like that, or risk like getting to the point where I can't lift up quite a bit of weight. And burnouts are never really my thing, but I love lifting heavy. I do have a bench press and stuff like that too, so I will be doing some of that, some dumbbell workouts, but primarily I'll be running. That just seems to be the simplest thing for me to get out and do, even though I hate it probably the most. I am pretty decent at it. I can get in a zone, and I feel like that's going to be the most sustainable thing for me. So what I want from you guys, I want you guys to tell me about your experience. If you're in a weight loss journey yourselves, tell me about what you're doing right now. Let me know what's your plan? What have you found that works for you? What doesn't work for you? It's not just like what's the scientific answer on here's how you should do things, but what's actually worked for you guys. What are you doing that makes the eating easier, that makes calorie counting easier, that makes lifting weights, running easier? If you've already done it before, if you've already accomplished your weight loss goals and stuff, how'd you get there? What was your process? How long did it take you? I want to know all that kind of stuff. And together with that, maybe we can build a small little community right here where you guys can help me and I can share with you what I'm doing, try different tips and tricks that you guys can give me or that I find, and see how we can get there. So if you want to watch me go through this process, go through the workouts, talk about just my life experiences with this and how I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. Making this video, I have 0 subscribers and 0 views. So that's where we're starting. But for now, I'll end with that, and we'll talk to you later.